This is not the kind of weather we want when we're spending a week living with the Lexus RC-F Track Edition, but hopefully it improves later this week. It's a bit damp out, 5-liter naturally aspirated V8 rear-wheel drive, and it's the Track Edition. But we're not driving on track this week. We're gonna see what it's like to live with in the real world. Got the Lexus key here. Unlock. It's got a carbon fiber hood. Look at that. Little blue accent there. Matte black BBS wheels with the red brake calipers. And a big carbon fiber wing. Whoa. Whoa. It's got blue carbon fiber inside. Wow. All right, cold start in the morning. Red line is merely 3,500 RPM as the engine needs to warm up. I remember when I first drove the Lexus RC-F, it was like 8 years ago. I was still back in college. I think it might have been orange, or maybe that was the RC350. Regardless, F is Lexus's performance brand, similar to how BMW has M, you have Mercedes AMG, and I'm very interested to see what this RC-F is like nearly a decade later. They have made some changes to it, it's been updated, still has that 5-liter naturally aspirated V8, which I think it's gotta be the last one. Nobody is making NA V8s in this segment anymore. They've all gone to turbocharged, forced induction, smaller displacement engines. But the RC-F Track Edition, we're gonna see what it's like to live with for a week. We do have Apple CarPlay, but we have to plug in the regular USB cable. And there we go, CarPlay pulls up, and this is now a touchscreen. We can also have the little touchpad down here. We'll do a better interior tour later on. We gotta get to the office. Redline has been slowly rising as I'm driving, but I think almost there. Just over 7,000 is what this should be when it's fully warmed up. Let's toggle over once. For sport mode, you see the tachometer changes. We have the full rev range because everything is warm. Traction is not at a premium right now. We'll have more fun later. Are you... And just hiding from the camera. You said you'd be willing to ride in the back seat of the RC-F up to Road America.
I said it would be maybe okay if the person in front was really short.
Yeah, it's me, you, and Kyo. We're all like 6 feet plus. That's not gonna work. No, it will not work. This is not... I'll sit back there, I'll try it, but also, Andrew, look, blue carbon fiber. That's pretty cool. On the door.
Is there anywhere else?
Here, on the, above the glove box, there's blue carbon. No, outside is black carbon, so we have the carbon wing back here. Ooh!
Pretty good.
Wait, look at that. They actually changed the weave for the F logo. That's pretty cool.
There is blue on the outside, on the badge.
Yeah, the badge is an accent, and I think this has a titanium exhaust too, so those tips, yep, are a little bit blue. That's cool. It's got a titanium exhaust, but that is not overly raucous. That's actually relatively subdued for a Track Edition. That's nothing crazy. Does it have carbon ceramics? It does, oh yeah. Carbon ceramic brakes. Those calipers should be blue for sure, but yeah, I mean, Track Edition. Those are BBS forged wheels. Let's take a quick look at the exterior of the Lexus RC-F Track Edition. Out back, one of the first things you'll notice is the big carbon fiber wing mounted here on the trunk. And again, the fact they put a flipped F logo on the side where they changed the carbon fiber weave, that is quite a cool touch. The other car I saw something like that on is my friend's MSO McLaren Sabre, which is obviously a completely different price point. They've refreshed the headlights and taillights. Those are new ones out back. We have the blue accent around the F for the RC-F. We have a carbon fiber diffuser down here too. So that middle part is carbon fiber, and the stacked exhaust tips. They go at an angle, just styling, because you see it comes out of the same muffler down there. But you see the blue, that's titanium. This has a titanium exhaust. If you unlock, you see the taillights? No, it's too light outside. We'll show that more later. Very angular and boxy. Look at that. That rear bumper comes out to this very sharp pointed crease right there. That does not look functional, I think. That looks like just purely for styling. Mentioned the matte black wheels, carbon ceramic brakes. We got Pilot Sport 4S, PS4S tires, summer tires. We have 275/35 R19s out back. Up front, we have two 55/35 R19s. Have a little bit of a carbon fiber side skirt there. I do not think that is functional. Another F badge there. Yeah, I don't see airflow going out of that. And then the full carbon fiber hood. If this was the blue weave like matching on the inside, that would be even crazier. We do have a vent there, and they updated the headlight shape. I think it used to be like the headlight and then the DRL was like split lower. There's actually a bit of body color in between them. Now it's one entire cluster there with that Lexus pointy DRL shape. I think the headlights in front end look much better than the pre-refresh when this car first came out. More carbon fiber up front. Carbon fiber front splitter. Even comes around to the side there. And then the big Lexus spindle grille. Definitely a polarizing point. Some people like it, some people don't like it. I'm fine with it. It adds to the aggression of this car. It's a very aggressive looking car. It's not pretty. The LC500 is absolutely gorgeous. This is aggressive and sporty. I just try to combine those into one word. And there's a quick walk around of the exterior. Does it have a carbon fiber roof too? Yeah. Carbon roof. So a lot of carbon fiber for the track edition to lower the weight. And I mean, carbon fiber is expensive, especially bespoke carbon fiber like this. I don't think this wing is shared with anything else in the Lexus lineup. So that must have cost quite a bit. I started the car up so you can see the headlights and taillights. There we go, up front. The DRL should be on. Yep. Driving along in normal mode, and the RC-F is pretty smooth. The suspension's definitely a bit firmer. I went over some railroad tracks and it was a little bouncy. You see normal mode, and then we have a toggle there for the drive mode. So if I go over to the right, see there's Sport, one more over, Sport Plus. We press it, goes back into normal, and then if we go to the left, we have an eco mode where the numbers on the tachometer go away actually, but very linear power band. There is like a shift at around like 3,000-4,000 RPM. Oh, the paddle shift. Oh, it's kind of slow. Let's see, downshift. 4, 3. That's not my favorite. Ooh, the tachometer actually shifts over. Look at where 7,000 RPM, where red line is, and then if I go back into normal, it moves. Interesting. But I don't think that entire circle will move over the tachometer like on the IS500, which was inspired by the LFA, so not quite that fancy. Done with work. Back into the RC-F Track Edition. See, at night, you unlock it and DRLs turn on. I unlocked you. What the? Does this not have keyless entry? There we go. Wait. Really? There we go. 17th try is a charm, I guess. Ooh, our parking lot lights just turned on. Check out that wet carbon fiber. That actually looks pretty nice. Door sill Lexus logo lights up too. Nice. Ooh, got a little bit of a burble. We are going to give this a nice little mini review later on, talking about all the technical specs, how it drives, my thoughts on it, but we need to head home because it's quite late and I am very tired. The sun finally came out. It's no longer gloomy and rainy, and we are heading up to Road America. We're going to take the RC-F Track Edition up there. We're not tracking this car. We're driving some Porsches on track, but it should be a fun day. And I also just figured out how rare and special this car is. More on that in a moment, but we have about a 2-hour drive up there. Oh my. The gray on this one is special, but that is a very interesting shade of pink on the Lexus RC. Making our way through Wisconsin, but we need some fuel. Oh, that's a lot cheaper than back down in Chicago. Full tank, we are showing 360 miles to empty. How's our fuel economy? Well, that's from me moving from the gas pump to the other side. Where is it? 22 mpg. That's going up slightly because we're doing highway cruising. Not bad for an older V8 and 8-speed automatic. Hello, Road America. Oh, that's not the main gate. Oops. America Part 2. I definitely wish we could track this, the track edition, but not today. Wait. Not bad. Although those, I just floored it. It took that long to downshift. Come on, this thing needs a better transmission. But it's okay. Time to play some Porsches, and we'll pick this back up later. Finishing up at Road America, unfortunately we were not tracking the RC-F Track Edition, although that would have been so much fun. We're doing some Porsche stuff with Porsche Exchange, ton of fun. But back in the RC-F, off to dinner. We have about a 2-hour drive home later. Where is Keon going? Oh, he's gonna go check out that GT4 RS. Ooh. Look at that little left screen there, and the animation, startup animation. What do you think about the Lexus RC-F Track Edition?
It's actually very nice, but it does feel like, interestingly, like an old school muscle car, even though it's a Japanese you know, luxury brand, really.
I mean, if you think about the ingredients, 5-liter naturally aspirated V8, rear-wheel drive, 2-door 4-seater, that is like similar to a Mustang or Camaro formula.
Yeah,
so,
but it's great. It's very torquey.
Yeah.
Very stable, so
very comfortable. It feels very solid. Our highway drive 2.5 hours up here was pretty smooth and easy. Yeah, it's definitely nice. And this thing is so exceedingly rare. 50 track editions a year, 50. We'll talk about that more later on. But with that, we're gonna go grab dinner and we'll pick this back up tonight. So now that we have spent several days living with the RC-F Track Edition and getting to know it, let's give it a mini review. So what exactly is the Track Edition? Back in 2020, when this platform was refreshed, Lexus launched the Track Edition, and it had tweaks to it to make it a bit more aggressive, more performance-oriented to merit the Track Edition name. But the big thing was the rarity, the exclusivity. This has to be one of the most rare Lexus models I have ever spent time with. 50 a year for the US. That's it. 50. There was that Fuji special edition limited one that even had a plaque on the inside that was numbered. I couldn't find one on this 2023 model year one, but as they continued on, 50 a year. That is so rare. But they did tweaks to it to make this, again, more aggressive, a bit more performance oriented. You can see visually a lot of carbon fiber here. Carbon fiber hood, front splitter, the carbon fiber roof, and the big carbon fiber wing out back for obviously more aero, but lightweight. Weight savings is a goal to make something more track focused. This still has the 5-liter naturally aspirated V8, making 472 horsepower and 395 pound-feet of torque. All of that power is sent to the rear wheels only, 8-speed automatic transmission, but they retuned things like the throttle curve and all these little touches to make this, again, a bit more track focused. In terms of exterior styling, I think this update looks better for the RC-F compared to the car when it first launched. It's not beautiful like the LC500, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I wish they made an LC-F, but this RC-F Track Edition has more of the aggressive kind of sports luxury coupe look to it. The updated front headlights here look quite nice. We have this Lexus spindle grille, incognito, that's the gray color here for the 2023 Track Edition. I believe it is special just to this model. Up front, the revised fascia, this feeds the oil coolers. We've got carbon ceramic brakes actually behind these matte black BBS wheels, and the wing, that carbon wing is so cool. On the sides, in the weave, they flip the weave to outline the Lexus F logo. That is a properly special touch. And we have a titanium exhaust to lose weight, right? I think it's a 15-pound weight reduction, but the tips are still stainless steel. They're tinted blue to kind of fake the titanium look, which I think is kind of cheating. It should just be full titanium, and as the temperature changes the color, that would be even cooler. But overall, a lot of tweaks to this you can see on the outside that make this the Track Edition. So with that, let's hop in the car, take it for a drive. We'll talk about the interior, what it's like to drive, some of my impressions over the last couple days, how it compares to some of the competitors, and the value of the RC-F Track Edition. We are now inside the RC-F Track Edition on the road, so let's talk about the interior. There's been some updates to the interior on this slightly aged platform, but there's aspects that show its age. It's still nice to have a big naturally aspirated V8. So let's start with some of the highs on this interior. We have an updated 10.3-inch infotainment screen, which is touchscreen. It has Apple CarPlay. It is wired. I have my phone plugged in here on the center console, but fortunately touchscreen. You can still interface with the little touchpad, which I actually really haven't used at all because it's a touchscreen and they moved it forward so you can easily reach it. Another high point on the interior, in my opinion, is the material quality and the build quality. The blue carbon fiber in here, when I first opened the door, I was like, whoa! It's got blue tinted carbon on the interior, on the doors here, on the dash there across in front of the glove box. It's such a cool touch. The blue theme is the feature for this iteration of the Track Edition. So we have blue suede accents on the seats there too. We have blue seat belts, but the blue carbon fiber, so cool. Really, really like that. It ties the whole car together nicely. Even like inside these paddle shifters, the plus and minus, the little inside part is blue. Really cool little accent details. Couple F badges. There's one right here on the steering wheel. The steering wheel is all in suede across a lot of different surfaces. The seats also are a very nice combination of they hold you firmly, but they're still very comfortable. Very nicely padded for a Track Edition, right? You could not fault Lexus if they went over the top into something really, really aggressive, but I think these are very, very nice. Did, what, a 5-hour round trip on the freeway yesterday in these seats. Pretty comfortable. There are some parts that are showing their age. So I do like that we still have physical buttons for things. We still have a CD player. So you want to talk about showing age, a CD player in a modern 2023 model year vehicle. You're like, I don't think I've held an actual CD for the last, I don't know how long. I know people who are very, very particular about their audio quality will insist, yes, obviously CDs are better, but I just run Spotify, guys. So like CD player is amusing to me. We have these slide temperature things where you can tap, but it's way easier just to slide up and down on these bars to change your temperature. The cluster, not a full digital cluster. We do have a little screen inside the tachometer in the middle, and if you change your drive modes, it'll update, but not like in the LFA or the IS500, for example, like the whole thing will move back and forth. We have a tiny little analog speedometer on the right side and a small screen on the left. Pet peeve, the steering wheel buttons. The right side controls the screen on the left, and the left side controls your screen on the right, which is your infotainment screen. It must just be a legacy carryover thing, but it threw me off because I went to go like toggle up and down on the left screen. I wanted to go between like my range to see some of the other displays there, and it started changing the track, and I was like, oh wait, why is it flipped? Nitpicking, right? Once you get used to it, it's fine. I do like the center tachometer screen, and I like it when it changes between your different modes, but it is absolutely not like the most latest and greatest full virtual cluster, and I just don't think this platform would support something like that. Now, driving. What is this like to drive? So, it's Track Edition, but we haven't gotten to drive this on the racetrack, unfortunately. Real world situations on the road, what is a Track Edition like? Actually, pretty nice. So we have that big naturally aspirated V8. When everything else has gone to a forced induction 6-cylinder in this segment, it's welcome. It has that V8 noise, but not as much as I wanted. I mean, why don't you shout over the top that you have a naturally aspirated V8? It does have the titanium exhaust, but it still seems relatively muted. That may be a combination of like the build quality and isolation, but it's not as loud as I thought it would be, especially with a direct comparison point to the Lexus LC500. Now that still has this 5-liter V8, and that sounded sonorous. It sounded so good. So I wish it was a bit louder. It revs out. Redline is 7,300 RPM, which is pretty good. And it's got a secondary intake port for the air intake, I think, that opens up at 2,800. Exhaust valves too. I'm in sport mode right now. If I go to Sport Plus, not bad. It's decent on full throttle there. A little bit of a delay. It's just not. It's better in Sport Plus for sure. If I go back in, for example, normal, actually, all right. When you start driving it in a little more aggressive, seems like the transmission gets a little bit sharper. It's still not the greatest. Not the greatest. Not compared to some of the newer torque converter automatics, the ZF8 based ones, or a dual clutch, or good old fashioned manual transmission. There's a bit of a lag there. Lexus was pretty focused on weight reduction. Weight reduction was absolutely a goal, to the point where they were quoting, they shaved off 700 grams of aluminum from the underside of the intake manifold. It went to hollow half shafts out back to save 4 pounds. We have those carbon ceramic brakes, 48.5 pounds of unsprung weight reduced, 19-inch BBS forged wheels. All of this together 176-pound reduction compared to the regular RC-F. And that's actually pretty sizable amount. I'm sure all the carbon fiber helped too. It's still pretty hefty, just under 3,800 pounds. So this is by no means a lightweight track toy in that regard. But it rewards you with a more solid feeling experience. How's the overwhelming takeaway when driving this just in the real world, even on some curvy roads and things like that? It just feels planted, solid, high quality. The steering has a good amount of heft to it, and it's very settled feeling, where you can just go into the corner, set it, go. It's not like something that wants to dance and feel super nimble. Overall, I've actually liked this a lot on the road. Living with it, driving it around, like, it is the track edition, but in terms of something you could just daily drive as a sporty luxury coupe that has a bit more of the track-focused aspect of it, I think they did a good job with it. This does feel like a carryover from an old generation of luxury performance muscle car that is no longer. They don't offer V8s. The C63 felt akin to this, right? Kind of the American formula of a big NA-V8, rear-wheel drive, a lot of fun. Now they've all gone to more electronic-filled, turbocharged little rocket ships, right? So it does evoke a bit of nostalgia, knowing that it's Toyota-based and familiar 5-liter V8. This platform's been around for a while. I feel like this would just be bulletproof. But we get to the value, the dollar signs associated with the track edition. And then I got a little alarmed. When I first pulled out the window sticker, I was like, whoa, that's a lot of money. It's $100,000. And at first I didn't realize how rare this car was. When you do take that into consideration, it makes more sense. It's hard to justify, but it makes more sense. Regular RC-F now, when you order one, I think it's $67,000, and you can get a carbon fiber pack that's $18,000, I think. So you can option a regular RC-F up quite a bit. The track edition still goes further. You get that big carbon fiber weight, which is so cool. The fact that it has like the flipped F logo blows my mind, and all the other pieces, carbon ceramic brakes, the retuning of various aspects of it. You wouldn't get that. You couldn't do that on a regular RC-F. Even if you try to go aftermarket, you won't get to this level, and it's cheaper to go from the factory. So $105,000 as option is a lot of money, but when you start adding up the ingredients, it starts to make a bit more sense. And then you look at some of the competitors too, like a BMW M4 competition X-Drive, you can option to $100,000, but it's going to be way faster. 0 to 60 in this, 3.96 seconds, right, for the track edition rear-wheel drive. The M4 Comp X-Drive would be all-wheel drive, obviously, and we'll do 60 in like 3.4 seconds. That's factory rating. That's a lot faster. And having tracked an M4 Comp, I was pretty impressed by that. It's very potent. Whereas this, I haven't gotten to track it, but I think the M4 would walk away. That gives you a little beep on upshift. I hear the tires squealing a little bit. Last of an era. The rarity is truly remarkable. And after driving it, I was like, man, this is living with it. Liked it a lot. I came in skeptical. I'm like, man, this is going to be just an absolute dinosaur. Like, everybody has moved on. Lexus is just clinging to the past. And then why wouldn't I just buy an LC500? Because I love the LC500. Different personality, use case, and the rarity. Ultimately is the rarity. Hope you guys enjoyed this mini review of the RC-F Track Edition. We'll get back to concluding the vlog for this week, but I wanted to take it for a spin and share some of my thoughts. Quick look at the window sticker for this RC-F Track Edition. So the 2023 is finished in incognito, lots of standard equipment. Base price is $99,570, so just under $100,000. This one has the upgraded LED headlamps, the navigation and Mark Levinson sound system, which brings that upgraded screen and the sound system. A couple other minor things. $105,685. Yeah, $100,000. It's definitely a lot, but makes sense given the rarity. And I mean, it has carbon ceramic brakes. It's got the carbon fiber aero. Fuel economy, 16, 24, and 19 combined, which is decent given this powertrain, I think, and the weight and things like that. So there's a quick glimpse at the window sticker for this RC-F Track Edition. My friend Eli asked me earlier in the week what I thought about the RC-F Track Edition, and the way I put it to him was rare, expensive, very solid feeling, strangely charming, happy it still has a V8. And that's really how I feel about the car. And he responded, sounds like a Lexus, which is right, which is absolutely right. Another big thought I have on my mind is, if you think about cars that are gonna be worth a lot in the future, vehicles that may appreciate, usually they're rare enthusiast vehicles, I think this car has to be one of them. In the scheme of relatively more mainstream production cars, right? We're not talking hypercars and things like that. This is so insanely rare and has so many special touches to it. Things like bespoke components just for the RC-F track edition that you wouldn't find in other Lexus and Toyota models. And also the fact that this is the end of an era, right? Naturally aspirated V8, there's not gonna be more of these in the future. We're not gonna get more luxury performance coupes that have a powertrain setup like this. So I think going forward, this will be a special car, and I definitely could see it going up in value. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed this week living with the Lexus RC-F Track Edition. Certainly expensive, but rare and special and charming. Thanks for watching. Gotta make a bit of noise. That is not as loud as it should be. Come on. Woohoo!